Hello, my name is Mark Benke and I'm the creator of a game called Equals. I've created a lot of games over the years, and this particular one is interesting in that I created it while I was sleeping. This was a dream. When I woke up in the morning, I was so excited I wrote down the rules, and anyway, this is the game. When I wrote down the rules for this one, I really wanted to have a game that lots of people can play. When my family gets together, we like to play games, but there's not a lot of card games out there that we can all play and all be engaged with. So I thought, boy, this one would really fit the mix. So this game can be played for 2 to 12 people, and really any age can go to play this game. I'd say anyone from grade school to grandparents could play. I kind of think of it as kind of an activity game in that when we get together for like Thanksgiving or birthdays or something, this would be a good game to pull out. So what I like about this game is that everyone is engaged all the time on every play. And I wanted to remove some of the frustrations you have with other games. For example, if you were playing a game with a lot of people and you had to deal out a bunch of cards, sometimes that takes a little while and not everybody's comfortable with shuffling. So we've taken that out. There's no shuffling and there's no dealing in this game. When we set up, we pretty much just do this. And everyone can put their hands in. The kids like to mix up the cards a little bit. And anyway, here it is. That's called the flip pool. Once you have the flip pool all set up, everybody takes cards. We'll take 7 cards. Every player gets 7 cards, so I'll go ahead and draw enough cards for 3 players. After everybody's taken their cards, what we're going to do is make a little area in the middle of the flip pool. So I'll just kind of spread things out here in the middle. This is going to be where we put the flipped cards, and it's called focus area. So the object of this game is to score points. You score points by laying down cards. You lay down cards by matching cards that have been flipped up. Why don't we go ahead and begin? Now normally when you play this game, you keep your cards so nobody can see them, but in this game, we'll go ahead and let you see them. So here they are. I'll go ahead and flip over these other ones so that you can see also. But normally you wouldn't do this. All right, we're all set to begin. Really with this game, whether you've got 2 people or 12 people, the setup is pretty much the same. It takes about the same amount of time. Let's go ahead and begin. You pick one person to go first, and people take turns going around flipping cards. So I'll go ahead and flip over a card. Looks like the first card we have here looks like a 7. I'll go ahead and put that down into the focus area. A 7 is the card to play. So you look at your hand and see if you have any cards that match. Let's take a look at this player. This player has a 7. They've got 1 card that matches. They can take this out of their hand and lay it down on the table to score points. That becomes their scoring pile, and you put all of the cards you lay down onto one pile. That's it. This player has not just 1, but 2 7s. They both match, can lay them both down. They score points for both of those. Now, I don't have a 7 in my hand. However, I do have a couple cards that I can put together. I have a 4 and a 3. You can group cards together and see if they can add up to cards that equal the match card or the target card. In my case, 4 plus 3 equals 7. I can lay them both down, score points. But you can only lay down 1 group of cards at a time on a turn. For example, I have another card here. Looks like I've got a 5 and a 2. I could play a 5 and a 2. That's a 7, but I've already laid down a group, and you can only lay down 1 grouping. You might notice that this player also has 4 and a 3, but they've already laid down a match card. So you can either match cards or group cards, but you can't put down both. So that's kind of how you play the game. So after one person flips a card, then just go around and somebody else flips another card over. So I'll go ahead and do that. The next card looks like we've got a 9. Put a 9 here in the flip pool, right there in the focus area, and we take a look at our cards. Now I don't have a 9, however, I do have a specialty card. Looks like this one is a +1 or a -1. It's the only card like that in here. I could take a +1, +8, and give me 9. 1 plus 8 is 9. I can put those down. Now the player over here, they don't have an 8. They do have a +1, -1, however, they've got a 10. 10 minus 1 equals 9. They can lay those down to score points. This player doesn't have a plus or minus 1, but they do have 3 cards here. Looks like they've got 4 and a 3 and a 2. 4 plus 3 plus 2 equals 9. They can lay all 3 of these cards down. In fact, if you had all 7 of your cards that matched somehow where it all added up, you could lay them all down. Remember, you can only lay down 1 group at a time. All right, let's continue. Again, you just go around and another person gets the flip. And what I really wanted to do is have everybody engaged on every play as it's going through. So next card that flips, oh, we've got a specialty card here. This is called a stop card. Strike 1. While you play around, if 3 of these cards get flipped over before everybody lays down their card, the round is over. Right now, though, it's only strike 1. It's not too bad. I'm going to set this card off to the side. Remember, we get 2 more, the round's going to be over. Now, the value of the stop card is a 2. If it comes out of the flip pool, it's a strike against you. However, if you have a 2 in your hand, like I do, it doesn't count against the strikes. You just play it as a regular 2. I can lay this down to score points. Doesn't look like any of our other players have 2s, so we'll just keep going. We'll flip over another card. Next card is, looks like lucky number 13. Well, I don't have a 13 in my hand, and this player doesn't have a 13, and this player doesn't have a 13. However, they do have a specialty card. They've got a wild card. If they wanted to, they could play this one down here and say, well, it's a 13 and score points. They could do that, but another way to use a wild card is in conjunction with another card. You can group wild cards or cards together like this. I could take a 10, which they have in their hand, and a wild card and say the wild card is a 3. 3 plus 10 is 13. They could lay both of these down. Wild card is a great card to help get you rid of some of your high cards. I could do that, but I could also do this. Instead of using a 10, looks like they have a 14. Now the wild card can take the place of any card in the deck. And in the deck, we have a card called +1 or -1. You can say that the wild card acts like a -1. 14 minus 1 is 13. I could play those and put those down. Now that's the only card you can do that for. We don't have a plus or a -2 or a -5. It's only a +1 or -1. That's the only card you can do that with. And the wild card can take the place of that. All right, let's keep going. Let's see, the next card I'm going to flip over looks like, oh, well, this is interesting. In the flip pool, I flipped up one. It's a +or -1. Well, for this one, this is how it's played. You take the +or -1, and you look at whatever card was flipped over before in the focus area. It says it's 13. So what you do is you take 13 plus 1 is 14, and that becomes the card to play, which is really good news for me because I got a 14 in my hand. I can take that one and lay it down. Now you can also say that this is a -1. So if you had 13 minus 1 is 12. If you had a 12 in your hand, you could lay that down. Or cards that add up or group equal to 12. So it doesn't look like we have 12s anywhere, and I was the only one with a 14. Go ahead and flip over another card. Uh-oh, next card, strike 2. Well, I'll go ahead and put this down here. If we get one more like that, the round's going to be over. But if anybody had a 2 in their hand, they didn't play it before, they could go ahead and play that one right now. Looks like there's no 2s, so we just keep flipping. A lot of action. Next card we flip over. Oh, this is a nice one. Looks like it's a wild card. When a wild card gets flipped over in the flip pool, go ahead and set it down, and really you could lay down any one card or any one type of card that you have. You can't do any groups. In my case, I only have 1 card left. I got a 5, so I'll go ahead and put that one down, and I'm out. So the round will be over. However, everybody gets a chance to lay down their cards, and this person here looks like they have only 1 card left. Happens to be a 10. They get to lay that one down. That person goes out also. This player looks like they have more than 1 card down here, and typically when a wild card is flipped up in the middle, you might want to get rid of your highest card. In their case, looks like their highest card is 11. They could play that one. However, they could also do this. They have 2 8s. They could say that the wild card is an 8, and they can lay down both of those. Now, as many of 1 card as you had, so if you had 4 of 1 kind of card, you could go ahead and lay those down. But you can't lay any groups. It's only cards that match. So in this case, I'll go ahead and put down both of those 8s, and this is left in their hand. And that's it. That's the end of the round. So all that's left to do is to add up your points. So the way the points go is if you've got a card that's 1 through 5, that's 1 point, or 6 through 10 is 2 points, or 11 through 15 is 3 points. And if you forget, on the sides of the card, I have written the point value on there. So you can just add them up really quick, something like this. I can go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like I scored 10 points. This player, if they were added up, looks like theirs adds up to 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They got 13. This player, as we look at them, looks like they've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they scored 9. However, they've got 1 card left in their hand. This card has a value of 3 points. So what you do is any cards left in your hand, you subtract those from the cards that you've laid down. So if they've scored 9, 9 minus 3 is 6. This player gets 6 points. That's it. That's the end of the round. Well, what you do then is keep score. So if you've only got a handful of people, it's okay to keep score just with 1 person. But I found that if you do have 12 people or so, 1 person trying to get scores for everybody takes, it's kind of challenging for them. So what you might do is designate a couple different scores for your game. Maybe pick out 1 person, say, you can keep score for this half of the table, and maybe somebody else keep score for another half of the table. So kind of goes like that, makes it a little bit easier for them. So that's the end of the round. To start the next round, it just goes like this. Remember, there's no shuffling or dealing. Everybody just takes their cards, flips them over, just do this, and you're all set to begin again. So the game's got constant motion in there, and everybody's involved on every play. The game goes for 7 rounds, and the person with the highest score total at the end of the 7 rounds wins the game. And that's pretty much how you play equals. I hope you have fun trying to play this game, and I know I had fun creating it and engaging with other people. And if you do like this game, we also have a junior version of equals. It's called Same But Different. Played very similarly, but we have pictures instead of numbers. So thank you very much, and I hope you have fun playing.